Hello, my lovelies. We're here to do your psychic energy update. I have pulled the ruin. I have been a little bit MIA at the moment getting all the zodiac signs done and with readings. And I didn't want you guys to move into the weekend without directly getting your updated messages. Now, I have had a lot of downloads when it does come to the spiritual connection, and I do feel a little bit of a shift today. I have selected the ruin for you, and I've allowed some crystals to fall on the table, and I'm using the Abraham Hicks cards. What I've got coming through is there appears to be some sense of somebody's turning into divine feminine. Now, this is very separate to the connection. If you guys are experiencing, we do have power. I will say that. So I'm not of a believer that we can't upgrade our auric field and protect ourselves, and we can't change what other people do. But this is the message that's coming through, and I'm here to give it to you. So number one, the ruin is reflecting upon the past. You also can have some situational shifts relating to the past that can be quite odd. Now, they can come through in unique ways. Number one, when a person external to you is tuning into you, you will not be thinking about them. And that person's energy can pop up in your grill. You may physically know the person, okay? Now, how it can come through can be your dreams. It can be physically their name popping into your head. You can feel tingles down your back. Many ways it can come through. Now, the crystals that we have is tourmaline, which even the ruin is relating to Nor, black, water, emotions. You're going to feel it. And we also have the element of citrine, which is fair-based frequency. It's healthy boundaries. It's your power. So it is really your ascension 101 of, okay, I'm feeling really strong, over I'm feeling fatigued, sluggish, and I feel like I'm having some sense of psychic attack. Now, there is a clearing here, and you're trying to move towards your passions, and that's both sides, yin and yang, masculine and feminine. Now, masculines are having a heart clearing energy, and they are choosing healthy energies to surround themselves with. Intuition wise, and I will articulate it from masculine, feminine, the collective energy, to jointly, and I have pulled cards for external. Now, number one, there is an individual divine feminines, and anyone can be the divine feminine. It's the empath of the connection. Hi, sweet. There is a situation that's playing out that you might not feel so strong. So if you're feeling like there's a dark energy, dark cloud, protect your energy. You could have fair-based frequency coming up. You're trying to keep motivated and clear the heart chakra. But this ruin relates to emotions, water, vibrations, feelings, psychic, intuitive energy. So you do need to protect yourself at the moment. Now, it's not that it's in the reverse, but it is actually energy coming from external. Mystery, chance, and unpredictable event. Intimate encounter, esoteric, unfolding, fate, karma, feminine mystery, initiator of dreams, and incubation. Now, the energy of where it's coming from is you're sensing it. It's someone on the external of your life. It could be somebody under the same roof, but, this energy is coming from a particular location. Now, I do feel that lower octane energy because it's reflecting behind you or the past. Irritational fear, vulnerability, ill fortune, faults, mistakes exposed. So this is a person that's really a bit bitter, I would say such. We're not going to make everyone happy. Let's just be clear. Okay. Now, I have pulled cards relating to their demeanor. Again, the card of ego, the card of intuition, the card of thinking about you. Number one, this person in the past has been a very insecure person, maybe a little bit deceitful, but also maybe a little bit egoic and judgmental towards you or a surrounding situation, potentially even connected to the connection, but we can't do much about that. So the reason I'm mentioning this is not from a point of owning it, but from a point if you are having those ascension symptoms and you're feeling super depressed and it doesn't feel normal to your normal, do a house clearing. If the person's energy pops up and you're thinking of them, you can breathe in, breathe out, and then you can get a smudge stick and clear your head and clear your home, open the window, discard it, and then try to not tune into that individual because they're actually thinking on you at the moment, and there's a little bit of resent, anger, projection energy, which is coming through in your auric field. Okay. They're trying to be patient for, and do remember this ruin says something's coming that's unexpected. So pre-warned, forearmed. This is going to be unexpected. It's sort of like a unexpected. Now, it can be ascension or an unexpected kind of hey. They're going to have an altercation with you because they haven't given up on this, and there's a lack of forgiveness there. Now, because Mercury's retrograde, we can actually usher in energies from the past, and it can be there to tie up loose ends, but it doesn't mean to say that it's sortable. And because we're not all the same. Now, there is an emotional purge that both masculines and feminines are going through, and it is to do with your conditioning, lineage, how you're feeling. This is your energy jointly. You're wanting a new beginning, but you're reconditioning yourself. There can be some guilt relating to it. Some ways, sometimes you can have regret, wish I did X, Y, and Z, but it's like you're rewiring this new energy of who you are very separately to conditioning. They're clearing their heart chakra. Now, you're coming through as strong, okay? Your energy in your heart is strong. The purge is making it bigger, not smaller. But you are practicing healthy stories. You're like trying to move out of it, trying to get out of it. The dark cloud is attachment energy. The attachment energy is those energies separate to you. They're affecting your auric field. Clear your house. Psychically protect yourself. Don't own the energy. You're a vibration. You're receptively, intuitively channeling the energy. It's not yours. Okay, your body is very responsive to these vibrations. Around a tribe, could be around a family-related dynamic. Some of you, it could be, again, karmics, children, exes. Fun, Mercury. Okay, let's see what's going on with the masculine. Breathe it in and blow it out. It's a bit like Pilates, really, right? Okay. Masculines are feeling a little bit down, but it's not what you think, feminines. Okay. They're in the vibration of 4. Okay. Now, I'm being guided to notice that this card breaks down to a 4. And in astrology, because astrology affects us as well in soul paths, there maybe was an unhealthy environment because we have family, baby, childhood conditioning here to do with an egoic belief, right? Egoic belief, and making peace and detoxing from that and loving thyself and trying to close that, trying to make forgiveness for that. Hi, sweet. That, yes, we don't intentionally go out to hurt people. We have this expectation of ourselves. And very, very often we tend to have greater expectations than what, somebody could have a projection towards you. But 9 times out of 10, a person who internally is working through that problem always is harder on themselves than we directly can be, even if you can't see it. So there appears to be a bit of a clearing. Now, moving towards, and it's funny because I keep jumping when I've been tuning into the zodiacs, and I've been doing the zodiacs all week so that I can get you guys extension reads as well. Those reads, what's been coming through has been very much like they're making me make a reference to the full moon in Virgo. So I was being shown 2 different pockets of time, synchronistic circumstances that would come through. I do feel this weekend is the start point of that. As we move through the week, you'll have your reads, by the Monday, hopefully even sooner if I can get them done tonight or tomorrow. There's 2 more left and I'm uploading the rest. There's a predicament that I feel this person's healing. So what masculine's doing, and this can be a male or a female, it's energy. This energy human being, who was the initial runner, is coming to a space that they're healing and making forgiveness for themselves. Now, they really wanted to take in the past a very traditional approach with all things, but due to pain and conditioning, they kind of got on a merry-go-round and they tried to clean that up. It's a bit like the mop-up effect. They now feel they've been making too many sacrifices and they're entitled to love, live, be healthy, and they can be going through a whole detox program. This can be detoxing jobs, people, places, things, diet, conditioning, thoughts. It's really, it's a huge thing when you think about it. You can also find, which I've found, is that you can have synchronistic symptoms. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm a holistic healer. From a spiritual point of view, you might be having these ascension symptoms and having ailments come up yourself. This can be nausea. It can be you feeling off your food because you're purging a toxin, you're purging a paradigm and a belief system, and it is coming through in both energies. Okay, what is divine masculine wanting you to know? And, I really hate asking that question. It's more, what do we need to know? What do we need to know about this circumstance? Because if they have something to tell you, they're going to tell you outright. They're picturing a healthier life. They're picturing, getting into yin and yang, having a peaceful life. They can already feel it. Hi, Sway. So what they're doing is, in the yin-yang effect with the peace, they're picturing, again, I did mention they're in that detox energy, taking things out of their life that don't resonate, looking at the egoic belief they had in their conditioning, and now focusing on the higher level of the, not a dream. They don't want it a dream. They want it 3D. That's why the fatigue is coming, is because they're anchoring it in and doing physical work. As their body gets tired, for them to purge that process, that's where feminines, you guys, are going to have more energy. So this rainbow effect, this Neptunian dream state energy, they're actually taking physical steps to make it happen. But it's because they want peace, and it's for the both of you. It's not just, they don't want it to be a physical rainbow. They want it to be a physical reality. Okay, what is this? I don't know if I should use these cards for that question. What is the highest vibration this external energy is showing? I do feel, through this, if the pattern's broken and no one's enabling the situation, I do feel this external energy is going to be having a lot of mirror work happening, whether these energies want it or not. So I've noticed on the card that the person is really looking in at an individual. And again, I'm noticing the flower. I'm noticing the heart centered. It's almost trying to... it's almost focusing on that person like their own, and it's a codependent frequency over a loving frequency because the chord's there. It's a spiritual karmic chord, not necessarily a I love you chord, and that's a lot of what Twin Flame Path does purge. It's not an ownership energy. This person or people are focused, okay, third eye, focused on you, feminines, relating to the masculine. I feel this to be the masculine energy. And I'm seeing this chord like, no, it's not a competition. Do you know what I mean? But it's almost like, no, this is mine. And it's like a possession energy. It's a pain body experience. It's a coming to terms. And the hand is actually linked to Chiron, which the moon in Virgo is related to higher healing. And all morning I've been hearing Aries, Aries, Aries. And I was like, what the heck? It is because there's some sort of a shift that did happen today. A lot of frustration has been coming up. A lot of people's projection may be towards you when you're feeling really tired. It's always the way, you can have the most horrendous day and you'll have people coming at you and you're thinking, do I have hit me written on me? It's the laws of attraction. It's really sucky. It's very hard, but it does happen. It's like stub the toe, you keep stubbing it. Yeah, a lot of shadow work at the moment. A lot of shadow work. Okay, what is the in-between energy? When your masculine tells you he's sorting his... Me like I've been his property yet. You don't need to be. I think with soul connections, the interesting thing is, I years ago, I wonder if my twin's even home. He'll probably laugh at me. There was a person he dated years ago, and I was in a connection. And we were dear friends and arch enemies at times. It was a friendship thing. And the person who was actually dating was a very, very spiritual energy. She looked at him one day and said, do you ever think you're with the wrong partner? And he just blushed. And it was like, people see it. I've been in a restaurant at the other side, no malice, no intent. we had dated and we were in the opposite sides of the restaurant. People can just pick it. It's an energy. And it's not an ownership. It's that you know each other. So when they feel that they're wanting to connect in with that human being, and that human being only really resonates with you because, technically, sometimes we tolerate a lot more. We're empaths. They look to you as the solution, and then you own it. Okay, conditioning, I told you. It's not your job. You don't need to. We don't need to. They work it out as we do. And we have and are ascending. Yeah. Both energies in the yin and yang are gaining great clarity. Right? The past may be coming back for a reassessment of judgment. And I feel it's to do with karmic scenario shifts. Now, it doesn't have to be the partnerships. It's karmic scenario shifts. Now, this can be coming up in your memory, feminines. It can be coming up, and this has been a large situation as well. Because we had the Venus in Capricorn last month, we now have it in the energy of Aquarius as it's transiting. You're kind of looking at the heavy responsibility. Now, some twins have been single parents. Some twins have to be the masculine and feminine as well as masculine, okay? So it's those burdens that have been coming up where who you are now is very different. Right. So some of these things that we're moving into, they're coming back to check if we in fact have healed. It's a little bit like going to university and you're like, yep, great. They put you out into the workforce. You apply that energy and then you get that test and it's like, have I really learned everything? And it's just to make sure you've absorbed it all. So yes, we do have some 3D circumstances. I do feel, and I'll pull a clarifier on that one, that there are circumstances relating to the past, either emotional or 3D, and or even our dreams. Yeah, they're going to come back and surprise us. But you may very well surprise yourself that you've dealt with it a lot better than you thought you had, and maybe it doesn't resonate with you any longer, so it doesn't define you. This can be in relation to a person, High Yen, who may be a little bit bitter, okay? This can be bitterness, hurts, and or other people. A judgment will be made, right? There is movement forward. You may, after observing a situation, maybe on your side or their side, realize why something doesn't look attractive. And the big thing I've been noticing, which I have for years, you will be very in tune to people's frequencies. It's like X-ray vision. You'll scan it and you'll know. When you're awake, you just operate differently. Now, the reason why I think divine, feminine, masculine, you guys in your lives, point blank zero, jointly or alone, are wanting to move forward. I'm seeing before Valentine's Day, there potentially may be communication. I don't feel on, I feel before. And the psychic download I had, for those of you who this does resonate with the way they stand right now, energy can shift. They don't feel it's appropriate to contact them because they want to remove the cliche. And it's not that they don't have the intention. They want to show good grace that they communicate with you prior. Some it will be after, but they're very firmly saying before. They don't want to complicate it with a conversation relating to that. And the reason I say that is what my guides have been showing me is our old energy of how we were coming into connections and how we're directly linking now. It's a bit like sometimes when you've had that separation to twin and another energy has come towards you and they've been very full on, and it's almost like, whoa, hang on, what are we going down the aisle? It's very full on and it causes a bit of panic. They're wanting to do things very traditional now. And it sounds quite odd, but they're like, okay. And it's very similar to the way feminine has been. Look, I don't want more karma. Let's not do that. Let's not think that. Trying to work on yourself. Every moment should be Valentine's Day, and that's for you. And it's not just with divine masculine or divine feminine. It's with self. So it's doing something nice for yourself. It's actually observing, the gratitude of everything that we have. And that was one epiphany I had through my twin flame path is, I realized that if I was fixated on that, I was in lack mentality and like the laws of attraction that would really sort it. So when I shifted that, a lot of situations in my life shifted and it was like, no, okay, why have I had this fixed belief that I should get? And I don't really like flowers. I kind of find them cliche, but that's just me. Again, a pain body experience. It's like, what have you done wrong? What are you up to? So for me, Twin has given me flowers, but they're comical ways he's given them to me. So they're heart-centered. But you don't want it to be a forced upon facade situation, and that's what they've got coming through. They're like, I don't want it to be like that. They want it to be, you know, more flowing and heart-centered, realistic. His family, friends are being extremely abusive, and I've been detached. Yeah, look, until I do feel, look, we're moving through a portal. This is a test. It's here to show us how much we've changed. We are triggering other people at the moment around us. Yeah, my twin's a bit yeah, no, I don't even need to use the term twin. My partner, my partner in crime, right, is quite comical. So at times I've gone, you know, when have you bought me flowers? And of course there was a flower on the floor, so you know, he picked it up. No, he picked one out of the garden, he gave it to me, and I was like, taste him again, you know, when are you going to get me a flower? And there was one, it was stomped on the ground, so I put it in a box and I mounted it because I'm a sentimentalist. But it was just jokes we would make between us. Flowers should stay in the garden. I'm not going to be there forever. A new one will rise. Okay, what do we need to know? Okay, somebody's resentful that they've been left out in the cold. There could be a transition for one side where they're leaving a scenario. They might have been intuitively thinking, how do I do this? But it's not which one do I pick, it's how do I calm this situation down to have my new beginning? Because energetically looking at it, it has been a little bit of a like a reality check. They've seen they don't feel they're able to do that. They feel they don't resonate with that. Like I said, they're coming through looking at what the truth is, not pretending to live a dream, actually physically living whatever they feel for themselves is a very personal thing, not an egoic viewpoint of what they wanted the world to see. So it's a personal thing. They're taking their power back. And I do feel that, you know, this week it's a real kickoff for that, and you actually can have communication. You may also hear that somebody has been left out in the cold. They may turn up at your house too, and this can be both parties. So just pre-warned, forearmed. Pre-warned, forearmed. Telephone, email, third eye energy. Up in your ascension. Any questions while I'm here as I clean up? Yes. Okay, now the external and the intention I will read from the ruin. I will be over the weekend, if I've got 5, I will chuck a community post up. I'm going to be doing another twin flame read inside, and I may pull cards directly for zodiacs and that. Not zodiacs, elements, okay? Time restriction for the twin flame members zone for the coaching. Where am I? Okay, the ruin. Now I said, yeah, it's not fun, eh? Okay, now the ruin. It is in reverse, and I feel it's this external vibration. So, you know, I'll explain what the reverse for their energy and where they're at and how potentially their demeanor can be coming through. This is the psychic energy we're protecting ourselves from. So after, if you feel any of that energy on you, breathe, blow out, get a smudge stick, clear your space. If it gets really heavy through the weekend, clear your space, have a shower, and tune out of them or book a reading, okay? Irritation or fear, vulnerability, ill fortune, faults, mistakes, exposed. To the untainted, fate is simply a matter of chance in which we play no part actively. Hence the association with the dice cup, the game of chance. But the fact is that our every thoughts and actions is stirred into a cauldron by our own hands, and we unwittingly brew our own fate. Yeah, the heart chakra will also be not only from the fact that we did have the moon, the full moon in Leo, but because Virgo does relate to higher heart chakra, which is, it's like Aries and Chiron energy. That's why I kept hearing Aries. It was like we've moved through or moving through. And this can be the test to really help us, which I don't kind of like that notion, but hey, it is what it is. From a pain body experience, sometimes old circumstances play out and you realize you're actually over it. It doesn't define you anymore. But the fact is that our every thoughts and action is stirred into a cauldron by our own hand as we unwittingly brew our own fate. And this is for the karmic energies externally. When we drew the ruin, we will see if we have loaded the dice in our favor or if we have brewed ourselves a bitter drought that we may find hard to swallow. That which is hidden will be revealed. On a more esoteric level, intimate initiations into the feminine mysteries of the workings, which can place in a very privileged position with regards to understanding our place in life. Reversed warns against scrumbling or irritational fear of the unknown. The mysteries of life are not threatening. And in the end, the only thing that dies is fear. Fear that if you let go, you will fall to your doom is to be a prisoner of fear, which is true. It's like, when we're in that cycle and we know something's over and we're not letting it go and we're not at peace with that, and that's for everyone collectively. But this is what the karmic energies externally are going through. And it could be workmates, it could be friends, it can be hundreds of people. Those energies, if they are repeating patterns, it's causing more angst to the person's individual energy. And it's basically like you're feeling like you're reliving it, but by controlling it, you're making it messier. Yeah, there are new beginnings, and this can be a pretty testing time in the next 2 weeks. There are great aspects. I'm not going to lie to you. But there are going to be extremely tense times because we still have squares. We've got Neptune and Pisces making a square to Venus, which can make us feel quite eye-opener. It happens to be to my natal, which is yucky. It's like, okay. I said, honey, you stay there, I'll stay here. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to get on with it. And if you do need a booking, get in quick. I have put a special up now. The emails, which I usually send out on the website, I usually am a bit more organised, but it's Mercury blooming retrograde, right? So the only time I really email you will be if there's a special or something major to tell you. Very rarely do I. And it'll be maximum twice a month generally, or a Thursday news. But otherwise, I have a blog on the website. I have got an event that is occurring on Facebook because I do work on multiple platforms. At a point, I will be merging them all together. I will talk about that later. It's Mercury retrograde. That ain't happening yet. So the event is for Valentine's Day. The tickets are on the website. I am going to try and place a link to it on my website if I can, but it does state on the tickets as Facebook. Sorry, I'm kind of bouncing the table. Other than that, I do also have the readings at the moment. They are on special for Skype. You'll find them in the sales section. Usually when I do the little letter that I send to you guys, I have the link on the link that I sent those of you who received it through the email who are connected to me on the website. If you're wanting to purchase a ticket, you can press the RSVP section and it will take you straight through to the tickets. And it asks you may want to tune into, and it's not just for love. If you feel you've got blockages, we can do it about that. If you have a question other than that and you don't want to focus on love, you can still ask me and I'm happy to do that. It can be outside of love. Other than that, it will be astrology. If you know the person's zodiac sign, you can put it in and I can do a cross-reference energy check-in. It's going to be on the 12th, so that you're prepared prior to that day, preferably. We don't want to be doing it on your Valentine's Day, right? You can be doing, we'll do some comedy that day. Separately, there will be those free. So if you do need them, go ahead. And the Skype readings are on special at the moment, but you need to go to special on the bookings page. What can I expect from Francis? Any actions he will take towards me? I would say at the moment, it's been quite hard because the location I'm seeing has been problematic for him, Dale. And, you know, a lot of, I think when we go through a purge, it's usually we do bounce back again, but then we can go back down. And as we come through that and we enter that cycle, you tend to find they then have that purgatory effect. And I do feel it's really overdue with this. Like, it has been that they've been dealing with it, but it's something really major is happening this month. This is a huge window for these circumstances. I will pull you a card. But it's quite testing. I mean, if you've got no angst and you're able to, that's okay, Chris. If you're able to communicate, chuck a text. But if it's been angst and then with the karmic or something to that degree, don't bother. Just leave it be. Step away from the cauldron. We ain't making no soup. Soup for myself, maybe, not for that. Especially with the way things are in the transits right now. Yeah, they're stuck at the moment, sweet. There's, how do I put it? Emotions are coming up, but it's also to do with, you know, how do they feel? I think it's a work-related dynamic. I don't think this is a relationship. I think the key to a situation is finances, and I feel that they're trying to tie that up from a financial point of view, and they don't want to be where they are at the moment. They want to move. I don't want to text. Yeah, well, at the moment, that's where they're at. The key to it, they know, is on their side in their life, but they're dealing with personal circumstances that are financial in nature at this point, and it feels as though they've got, there could be a move, a job, but maybe they're not working, but there's something work-related. Yeah, but it's again, that's not permanent either, because it feels more a permanency they're dealing with. They're wanting to actually, what would the word be? Have that freedom to be able to do things that they want to do. And they're very, how do I put it? They're very private at the moment. They don't need anyone to tell them what they have and haven't done wrong. They're already in awareness of it. But it's their personal energy of how they feel relating to it that they're a bit frustrated with life at the moment. Yeah. They do expect success, but there's been a lot of expectations, you know, from people around them. Now they're checking into what those are and if those expectations are relevant. But, yeah, it's I wouldn't say hurt, just like over it sort of thing. Not mad. Accepting, slightly frustrated. I do find some of the masculines at the moment with their energy, with some of the transits we've gone through and transformations that can be leaving jobs and circumstances like that, they're actually coming through pretty darn patient in the energy field. Whereas when I've experienced similar vibrations, I've been a bit peevy. So I think from tuning into it, they're being philosophical. Yep, keeping their cards close to the chest. They're not telling anyone. They're being adult. Any other questions while I'm here before I love you and leave you? Thank you for liking the video. I appreciate it. I know for some of you it's super late, but I do have a fairly hectic weekend, and I didn't want to leave you guys without your reads. The next one I will jump through. I'll put a community tab up. I'll try and get to it either tonight or tomorrow, where I come to you guys in the members zone for the coaching session, but I will put the message up first. Okay, I'll warn you. Hopefully my daughter goes back to school tomorrow. I'll be like, love and light, guys. I'll talk to you later.